Okay, guys, we're back here. Picked up King 10 suited, and this is a hand that I like to play. Again, I will switch tables again, so I don't know these players. I'm just going to limp in again. I do like to limp a lot rather than raising because the blinds are pretty large compared to the chip stacks, so I don't want to invest too many of my chips with a hand that I don't feel as confident with. It's just king high. And I'm not going to bet here because there's no reason for them to believe that I hit that flop. And now there's a good chance that they have a straight or a small pair, and it's just not a very good chance for me to bet. Okay, now there's a straight on the board. Uh, Hopefully I'll just get my 200 chips back and we can just go on to the next hand, which that's what's going to happen. We're all going to divide it up straight on the board. Alright guys, I just wanted to point out this hand here. I have ace 8 of clubs. But well, I guess that changes things now that he raised. I was going to say that I was going to fold the hand either way because I had bad position and it's a weak ace. Now, the clubs, it's suited, makes it look like it's a more playable hand, but the fact that I'm out of position and, well, look at all these raises going on. I would have never wanted to stay in there. So that's exactly why. When you're out of position, you have to see those raises. And if I just would have limped in for 200, then I would have faced a raise afterwards, and then I would have been forced to fold because I don't want to play ace 8. Look at that. There's a good example. Two people have better aces, and a pair of threes in there as well. So the pair of threes, two pair of kings and threes is going to take it down. But yeah, you want to stay away from the weak aces because they're not going to get you very far. All right, and this is a good time for me to take a break. I need to run upstairs and take a piss. So I will be right back, guys. Alright guys, so we're back from break, and we are still sitting at the blinds being at 100, 200, and now there is an ante, which means we have to also throw up 25 additional chips every hand, and that's not just in the blinds, that's every hand, so that's what the blinds are. And also I wanted to show you guys the lobby now, and see how many players remain. I think there's like 20 players left. Yeah, let's find that. Yep, exactly 20 players remain out of the original 64. So we're down to 20. 10 places get paid, and I am sitting in. Oh, he's all in here, so I'm just going to fold back. What place am I in? Yep, I am in 14th place currently out of the remaining 20. So I'm not doing that well. Average chip stack is 4,800. I have 2,400, so I'm half of average. But that doesn't mean much because we still have plenty of poker to play. Go back to the table here. I have a queen 10 offsuit, and I am in the small blind, which is not a good position. So, but I will call the 100 chips if I can, which a big stack and another big stack down here. These two guys are just limping in. If I had a better hand, I would raise because I would be able to steal these chips here. I would believe that they have weaker hands because they're in good position and then they didn't decide to raise. Exactly, this guy takes my idea, and I have to fold that now. And I don't believe that anybody's going to call that. That's just my opinion, unless somebody has a monster and they were just trying to limp in, but I bet they fold. Well, we have a caller, so we'll find out. And that was an awfully loose call with ace 5, but he's got 15,000, so he's got plenty of chips. And he does hit a pair of 5s on the guy with his 4s to knock him out. So, and I would have hit trip 10s. Unfortunate. But yeah, that's just the way it works. Alright, so the blinds just went up again to 2 and 400. The ante is still at 25. And I'm getting ready to be in the big blind. I'm down to 2,300 in chips. And there are 17 players remaining. I'm in 13th place with my 2,300. Now 10 places get paid, so this is a spot where you kind of want to be as patient as possible to try and make that money. So I didn't invest $2 for nothing, and I'll get a little bit of return out of it. But it's also a spot where you can't let people take advantage of you. Luckily somebody was squeezed in there, so I got an extra free hand. But yeah, you don't want to let people take advantage of you, especially with these bigger chip stacks that I have at the table with me. And I say bigger, but I'm just smaller because I haven't. This is a really quick tournament, and I wasn't being very aggressive. And I think that's what it takes in these quicker tournaments. There's more luck involved with the smaller tournaments like this. With a larger tournament such as the World Series of Poker, and that's the biggest one to compare it to, but the larger the tournament you get, the more you get to play. You know, you get better structure. There's more chips to begin with. You have longer blind levels and more blind levels, you know, so you're allowed to play a lot more patiently in bigger tournaments. And that's one of the reasons why I don't play as many cash games. You won't see me playing so many cash games on this site as far as tournaments. Now, granted, I will play some cash games to try it out and show you guys a little bit how the cash games work. But I typically like to stay away from cash games, especially online. And one of the reasons why I like to stay away from cash games online is because I truly believe that people do cheat in poker, and it happens mostly in online cash games. And I'll tell you why. Because the biggest form of collusion, or cheating, is collusion. All right, we have, it's just 400 to me, and then the big blind here, I have 7-8, so I'm going to check. Flopped an open-ended straight draw. All right, now there's 2,000 out in the pot. That's more than what I have left. I have an open-ended straight draw. I think my odds are better to win this pot by going all in, because I'm going to do it before my time runs out, but I'll tell you why I'm doing this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I want them to think that I have a 9, and if I don't bet here, they don't think I have a 9. Well, there's a call. That's not necessarily good, but I do have outs, and that's for sure. I just picked up a small flush draw, but I didn't hit my straight, so this may actually be the end of my tournament. We will see. And it is. It is my end of my tournament. It's unfortunate that it ended that way. I finished 17th in this tournament. But what I wanted to say, like I was talking about earlier, is these small tournaments here, such as a $2 tournament like this, you know, there's much more luck involved. You have to actually be less patient in these tournaments so much, because you do have to gamble. When the blind levels in this tournament were actually 10 minutes, they weren't 15 minutes, as I said before. So the blinds were going up quicker. You see, we were at 2 and 400 there in the first hour and 25 minutes of the tournament, and that's not usually typical of a tournament. From where I used to play Poker Stars, the tournaments were a lot better structured. By the first hour, you'd be still at 75, 150, so you'd have a good structure to play. This was kind of a, you know, it was more of a gamble, but I did see some tournaments in the lobby for some deep stack tournaments, which I think I'm going to get into some of those in the future. Here's one here. It's a deep stack. It's a $7 entrance. You actually get 5,000 starting chips for that tournament. I believe the blinds would last a little bit longer. That's what they do typically in deep stack tournaments. Hopefully they do. Alright guys, so yeah, this is probably a good spot for me to end the video since I just went out. I guess it kind of sucks that I didn't win my first tournament, but that's not a big deal because that wasn't the purpose of that video. I will be posting my successful videos in the future, and I'll probably not put up as many videos where I don't win, such as that. If I go out in 17th place, it's not as exciting. So, but yeah, I probably will be only posting better videos in the future, but because this is one of my intro videos, I did just want to do a bunch of talking about, you know, a little bit about me and just tell you guys who I am. And yeah, so that's my first video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, go ahead and hit that like button. It really will help me out. Not sure how it will, but you know, I've been studying YouTube, I'll be honest. I planned on making this channel because right now I don't have a job. I really lost my job recently as a poker dealer. That's what I was doing. And I will talk about a little bit in the future about how I did lose my job and what happened with the circumstances around it and why my life is kind of crazy right now. So, yeah, look forward to those guys and appreciate you watching. Have a good one.